Have you ever noticed something strange? That the kindest people often cry the most? The people who help everyone usually suffer in silence. And the people with the purest hearts somehow get betrayed the hardest. Why do rude people often look happy, while genuinely kind people end up exhausted, used, and emotionally broken? Is kindness actually a weakness? Or is there something about human nature that nobody talks about? Because the painful truth is, most people don't respect kindness. They respect what they can't control. And once you understand this, your entire view of people will change. Being kind is beautiful, but many people confuse kindness with endless sacrifice. They keep forgiving, keep helping, keep understanding everyone, even when nobody understands them. And slowly, they become emotionally drained. Not because they are weak, but because the world often rewards selfishness faster than sincerity. In this video, we're going to understand why kind people suffer so much, why people take advantage of them, the dark psychology behind human behavior, and how to stay kind without destroying yourself. Because being kind should never mean becoming someone's emotional punching bag. The first reason kind people suffer more is because they feel everything deeply. Most people ignore pain. Kind people absorb it. They notice changes in behavior. They notice sadness in someone's voice. They remember small things. They care too much. And that sounds beautiful, until you realize how exhausting it becomes, because sensitive hearts don't just feel their own pain. They carry other people's emotions too. A rude person sleeps peacefully after hurting someone. But a kind person overthinks one small mistake for days. That's why kind people are often mentally exhausted. Not because life is harder for them, but because they experience life more deeply than others. Now here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to admit. Many people don't appreciate kindness. They exploit it. Human beings naturally test boundaries. If you always say yes, people will ask for more. If you always forgive, people stop fearing consequences. And if you never prioritize yourself, people start believing your needs don't matter. This is why some kind people slowly become invisible. Not because they lack value, but because they taught others that their kindness has no limit. And sadly, the world often mistakes softness for weakness. But wait, this doesn't mean you should become cold-hearted. In fact, some of the strongest people in the world are deeply kind. The real problem is not kindness. The real problem is lack of boundaries, and that changes everything. Toxic people are smart. They can easily identify emotionally soft people. Because kind people give second chances, third chances, sometimes even 10th chances. Manipulators love this. They use guilt, sympathy, fake apologies, and kind people fall into the trap because they always try to see the good in everyone. But here's a painful reality. Not everyone feels bad for hurting you. Some people feel bad only because they lost access to you. That's why emotionally intelligent people learn one important lesson. You can love people and still say no to them. Another reason kind people suffer is because they stay silent about their pain. They don't want to burden others. They don't want drama. They don't want conflict. So they smile, while quietly breaking inside. And over time, this creates emotional loneliness. Because the people checking on everyone often have nobody checking on them. That's why some of the nicest people suddenly become distant one day. Not because they changed, but because they got tired of being emotionally available for people who were never there for them. Kind people often have one self-destructive habit. They try to save everyone. They believe that if I love people enough, they will change. But some people don't want healing. They want comfort while staying toxic. And the more you try to fix broken people, the more broken you become yourself. This is why emotionally mature people understand something powerful. That you are not responsible for saving everyone. Sometimes helping others destroys your own peace, and sacrificing your mental health for people who disrespect you is not kindness, it's self-neglect. Think about it. How many times did you ignore your own pain just to keep someone else happy? How many times did you stay loyal to people who secretly didn't value you? How many times did you forgive someone while they kept repeating the same behavior? That's the tragedy of kind hearts. They give people unlimited chances until they completely lose themselves. But eventually, every kind person reaches a breaking point, and something changes. They stop begging for attention, stop chasing people, stop explaining themselves. Not because they became heartless, but because pain taught them self-respect. And honestly, a kind person with boundaries is one of the most powerful people alive. Because now they can love without losing themselves, help without being used, care without tolerating disrespect. That is real emotional strength. So, why do kind people suffer the most? Because they love deeply, trust deeply, care deeply. But in a world where many people only think about themselves, pure hearts often become easy targets. However, never let the world convince you that kindness is weakness. Kindness is rare. The real lesson is this: be kind, but not naive. Have a soft heart, but strong boundaries. Care for people, but never forget yourself in the process. Because the strongest souls are not the coldest ones. They are the ones who stayed kind after life gave them every reason not to. If this video spoke to you, then maybe you're one of those people who gives too much and asks for too little. And if that's true, I hope you remember this: you deserve the same love, respect, and energy that you give to others. And tell me in the comments, have you ever suffered because you were too kind?